Well, hey, welcome back to the Digital Ramble. How are you? I'm JJ Cannon, and we are joined with the absolutely fantastic Mr. Live Install, Mr. Ramble himself, Kris Gamble. How are you, my friend?
Hey there, JJ. I hope you're well. It's good to see you again.
Oh, man, it's Monday, and yeah, man, things are going well, starting out real fine. What you been up to? I like your background there. Nice.
I know. I'm in a forest in Essex. I've got to go across the road after this recording to visit a new client. We're going to run through their project that's starting in the next week. So I'm kind of at the bottom of their driveway, hiding in the woods.
I bet you've been singing all the way there.
Yeah, there was a song stuck in my head, but we'll keep that a private joke.
Hey, man, it's great to see you today. We have another amazing episode, but I just really want to point on last week's episode. It was fantastic. We talked about bathroom tech and had a tremendous amount of response. I want to say thank you to all the viewers and all the people that put some engagement in there for us. And this week's episode is just going to be smashing as well, my friend.
That's right. We're continuing the Smart Spaces series. We're moving into a favorite room of ours, and I'm sure many of our audience, we're moving into the media room today.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Smart Spaces, 7 tech truths for media room greatness.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Episode 23 of the Digital Ramble is delighted to have another sponsor. And this week, our sponsor is Gallo Acoustics. Gallo Acoustics manufactures the world's finest small speaker systems, blending real hi-fi performance with installation and decor-friendly design, delivering exceptional, expansive sound to living spaces large and small. The Gallo range can be customized to match any interior using our Spectrum color service. RAL, Pantone, Faro and Ball paints, or anything else you can dream up can be designed on a Gallo acoustic speaker. You can go to the website at galloacoustics.com or check them out on Instagram at Gallo Acoustics. So thank you to them for our sponsorship this week.
Yeah, thanks, Gallo. Greatly appreciate y'all's support. Also, Gamble, I want to say thanks to all the Patreons that continue to support us every week. If you'd like to support us as well, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/The Digital Ramble. So, man, this week we're talking about media rooms. And, what is a media room, Gamble? What is the public's translation of what a media room is?
Yeah, I think media room sits in this kind of intermediate level that it's neither full-blown theater or home cinema. It's not that dedicated room, total darkness, tiered seating, huge screen. That is a cinema room. That's quite different. That's probably several thousands of pounds more in the price category as well. And then, a media room is not your lounge. It's not your living room. It's not your family room. It is a space where you're going to go and spend some time to watch TV, movies, play games. It's probably going to be commandeered by the kids.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's kind of like a hybrid space that people use for entertaining or gaming or sometimes even educational spaces for their family. It's where everybody kind of gets together. It's that in-between space, kind of in between the kitchen and the bedroom, where people go and, can sit down and game, just like you were saying. Now, what's right for your room? A lot of people, there's different sizes of media rooms. I know that y'all's sizing for media rooms might be a little bit different than ours. I think that we do a lot of similar room spaces and sizes. But a media room can be small, medium, large, and there's different things that can accommodate small, medium, large spaces.
Well, I'd say for sure there is a big difference in property size between US and UK homes. Our homes are a lot more compact here. Certainly if you're in the city or even new construction now in the UK, you see homes are much smaller and room space is a lot more economical. But even in a small room, you can be very, very creative and make a media room for you and your family and the people in that home. And some technology lends itself better to the smaller space. And I know the first product we're going to talk about is projectors. And now there's a huge range available of short throw or ultra short throw projectors that can be positioned very, very close to the wall where you're displaying your content, and also more portable projectors like Pico projectors. I know you're a fan of the Pico projectors.
Man, I love the Pico projectors. I'm a little hooked on the Pico projectors because they're nice and small. Some of them are portable. The viewing is really good even when you have an ambient light. But I like that flexibility of being able to move it around. It's predominantly in our media room area. But if we want to take it outside to, the pool or something like that, we have that flexibility to do that as well. Another thing that I'm really big on right now is, man, those Samsung frame TVs. They are just ridiculous. And what we like is in our media room, we don't necessarily want an ode to a television. We don't necessarily want it to look like a media room, but we still want to be able to go into that space. And if we want to game or commune around the television, we have that ability. And so we love that Samsung frame television to where when it's off, it's artwork. When it's on, it's actually entertainment.
Yeah, because for many, the media room probably is okay just having a large screen TV in there.
Yeah.
So that small to medium sized media room, for sure, 65, 75, 84-inch screens. They're big screens, but you're not having to go that step up or step across to projectors, screens, running cables. The thing that I like about a large screen TV, everything's in there. So you've got all your smart apps, you've got some sound. If you're not adding any surround sound, your TV's going to chuck out some audio, nice bright image, easy to use. You can get and not have to have lots of boxes associated with it. And I've always felt a projector for me just comes with a lot of hangers on. There's a lot of things to deliver the content and also deliver the audio when you're dealing with projectors.
Yeah, but in large spaces, you sometimes need to step up to that projector and that larger screen. And they make some fantastic projectors right now that are relatively affordable. And you can get a screen that's even battery powered now to where it eliminates a lot of that traditional hardwire power run locations, and can get some really nice screens that are good for ambient light, which is predominantly in a media room. There's a lot of windows, quite possibly, but also when you close the curtains, it just looks amazing. It sings off the screen, with getting a good projection screen to accompany that projector.
And we're now in the era of 4K video, and it's very quickly going to become replaced by 8K in the coming years. But projectors have embraced 4K video technology. It is still a premium priced product to have a 4K projector. We're seeing some of the higher end projectors incorporating laser technology rather than your traditional lamps like LCD lamps. So laser for brightness, 4K, that video resolution that takes all your best content that's out there now, whether it's downloaded movies, Ultra HD Blu-rays that you own. So that projector still, going on what's connected to a projector, you still need something to deliver the video to it.
The content.
And then you also need that same device, and I'm moving into audio video receivers. You need that same device to deliver the audio to your surround sound speakers.
Yeah, man. And depending on the size of your space will also determine what type of audio solution you might need in that space. We've been predominantly using sound bars in small, medium spaces, just because what you mentioned earlier, the compactness, the minimalistic aspect of it. Everything's built into some sound bars these days that deliver quite a punch for a very affordable price.
But when you go into that larger space, you do need to fill the room with sound.
Yeah.
The sound bar may be lacking in performance but has its place. So then you're looking at, placing several speakers around the room, a dedicated speaker for bass, speakers positioned behind the listening position, and with new advancements in surround sound, speakers overhead for atmospheric surround sound. So
and that's based on how you want to use that space, because you can just have audio throughout the space, or you can truly do areas like this. I want to be a dedicated theater room, and then maybe in the rest of my space I'd like to have audio that can join either the surround sound system or maybe something independent.
So for our viewers and listeners, then run us through some of the audio configurations you could have. For many, many years, people talked about 5.1 surround sound, but that's kind of been around a long time, still has a place, but new technology and new formats have been introduced recently.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest with you, Gamble, we could even go back a little bit further to 2-channel. And 2-channel is hugely popular in media spaces because people are really digging on vinyl. They love getting out that Led Zeppelin record and putting it on there and just getting that real, that real full tonality that vinyl delivers. And that's a really good amplifier, a good preamp, and a good pair of tower speakers. And that could go in a small space. The pricing is tremendously variable on what you could accomplish with that. The next one is our more traditional 5.1 system, where it's 5 speakers and 1 subwoofer. That's how that 5.1 works out. Then there's also, you can take another step up and go to like a 7.1 or Dolby Atmos, which have speakers that are either on towers, or there's Dolby Atmos sound bars, or there's speakers that you can place in appropriate locations in your sitting area to truly get that surround sound vibe in a movie or in a media room. And then Gamble, in some spaces, they just might want audio through that entire space and have either speakers in the ceiling or even hanging down from the ceiling. You know what? This week, let me see if we can pull up the pictures. But one of our good friends, AOS, Art of Smart, was posting on their Instagram page, and they actually were using some of these. Let me see if I can pull it up. Using some of these Gallows speakers in their space. Yeah, there you go. These are beautiful in this space, Gamble, and they just look so fine. And yeah, there's the Art of Smart team up there, and they are hanging these Gallows speakers, really nice bronze finish with A-frame ceiling. Guys, I know a lot of people listen to us on podcasts, and we greatly appreciate it. But if you look at our Facebook page, you can take a look at these pictures that Art of Smart is doing in this media room environment. Thanks, Mike. But yeah, man, you can use all kinds of speakers throughout your media room, and just depending on how you want to utilize that space, there's something that would be fitting and appropriate for that area.
Yeah, and those images show, again, like we talked about when we just run through the sponsorship of the show, shows you that custom finish. So those in a bronze period finish to match the interior of that what looks like a very, very old property. So definitely go check out the installation that happened there with Art of Smart. They're at Art of Smart UK on Instagram. And the media room doesn't have to be, you talked about the Samsung frame. It doesn't have to be a big black rectangle screen. It doesn't have to be big box speakers positioned, in the corners of the rooms and bulky amplifiers. And
I like talking about aesthetics. I mean, aesthetics are important to on any environment. I like the look or the unveil of the tech that you don't see.
Yeah, and I think the Gallo speakers are an example of a tech that fits in with your decor, fits in with the interior. You can go a lot further, though, with hiding your tech. And in some of the luxury rooms and the higher ticket item media rooms, you see the use of plaster over speakers. So the speakers are trimmed in flush into the wall during construction phase.
They're invisible, like they go
Yeah.
away, and
Yeah.
they're tuned to be placed behind sheetrock, and the sound that you can get out of them is amazing. Like you don't even know that they're there.
Yeah, if you ever get an opportunity to listen to the invisible speakers, the plaster over speakers, very hard to identify where they are, and they give such a nice wide audio spread. So go and find those if you're ever in at some of these trade shows. You see a lot of these demonstrations where you can feel the sound, but you don't know. You can never be able to tell where it's from. The other kind of tips and tricks for hiding tech and making it kind of appear invisible is the use of motorized screens for TVs. JJ talked about motorized projector screens dropping down from the ceiling. All these things can be hidden with all the right planning, with all the right preparation. You can have a bit of a stealth home cinema. I'm quite a fan of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love seeing your displays pop up out of cabinets. We've also installed them, and our friends in the industry have also installed them to where they drop out of the ceiling. We have a client where their display is automated to pitch toward wherever their perfect seating arrangement might be, whenever they rearrange their home, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Simple, easy.
Where are we going from here?
Lighting, man.
Yeah, like any other room, your media room actually probably needs control over the lighting more than some others, because you don't want all the lights on when you're watching TV, but likewise you don't want it pitch black darkness when you're watching it. So that ability to dim the lights or turn off some of the lights and leave some on, like maybe just your table lamps or some low level lighting, but turn off that ceiling lighting. Just think about your lighting for the room. It does add to the drama. It does add to the theater. And not just controlling it from the wall or controlling it from an app. What we like about some of the lighting options out there is you can integrate your lighting into your handheld remote control. So the same device that's turning on the TV, switching it to HDMI 2, turning on your media player can also be dimming the lights and setting a preset for the lighting.
Yeah, man, we're both Lutron pros in our industry and install a lot of lighting control systems. And I just outfitted my space with Lutron Caseta, and I actually expanded it from my previous space to include my daughter's room and their bathrooms and stuff like that. And being able to set up schedules or to set up different groups and then verbally give those commands, it's just a different experience. And whenever we moved into our new space and didn't have the lighting control, we were a little spoiled, Gamble. The kids are coming in and they're like, Madam A, we're home, which is our trigger word, and everything that was set to that trigger, which is illuminating the entry and the pathways, we're still saying it even though it wasn't connected, which really goes to show that it's useful. It's people are well, at least my family's gravitating to the simplicity of it, and instead of having to go over here and over there and over yonder to hit a switch, with one voice control we can do the entire area, which is fantastic for media spaces, because you can verbally say it's movie time and the lights adjust, the shades close, the television projector turns on, your surround sound receiver, with one simple voice control. Yeah,
so it sounds complicated. There's a lot to trigger there, and a lot that is happening behind the scenes, but choosing the right products, working with the home tech professional, which we always talk about, bringing those people together and delivering you a smart space, the media room, it does take a lot of planning, I will say that.
Yeah, and trying to figure out what's right for you, finding a pro that listens to what you're trying to accomplish in your space is crucial, because you might not realize that all that you can do is a 5.1 in a space, because you just don't have the right area to do that for. You might find that a sound bar is just good enough, or vice versa. You might think a sound bar is just good enough, and it's just not going to cut it. So the best way to do that is to find a pro, find a home technology professional that can assist you in the engineering and the design of that space. And it does not necessarily have to be expensive. And sometimes you might want to go ahead and add that extra, a posh touch to your environment to really wow your guest.
That's right. So the media room, another smart space covered by the Digital Ramble there.
Gamble, one thing, how do you control all this stuff? We've been big with the remote. Yeah. We've been using those Harmony remotes, as our main control systems. Cavo is also a big one that's on the market for a very affordable solution too. And then there's some other ones that can really get down and dirty and do some really highly engineered control systems too.
Yeah, it's all about budgets, and even just to coincide with that, I'm going to launch a bit of a gamble ramble just to highlight some of the budget options there. But
you want to get into it? You want to do that gamble ramble right now?
Let's do it.
Hit it up. There we go.
So today's gamble ramble is just to highlight something, it's a little bit of a shameless plug. It may turn into that, but it's not intended to be. But we know that homeowners are enjoying all the great content now that's been delivered into their homes from all the providers that we're paying all these subscriptions to, plus we're investing in games consoles and spending so much per annum on the latest game. And, we like our kids to have their friends around, and they're in a safe space, that they're going to be hanging out. They're not on the street corners, and they're not, somewhere where you don't know they are. So, but to have a media room for your family to use and their friends, the preconception is it's going to cost an awful lot of money. Whereas at Customize, we decided to kind of demystify and take away some of the fear factor about a media room by introducing our service called the Half Day Home Cinema, which is a professionally installed home cinema surround sound setup in your family room, in your dedicated media room, if you had that. It's a very simple system. It either provides a new television or, which is the most common case, uses the existing television that you have. Firstly, we nicely, neatly wall mount that onto the wall with an appropriate bracket. We hide the cabling to your equipment down below. We install a new surround sound bar from Sonos. So there's the Sonos Play Bar or the Sonos Play Bass. You get the wireless sub positioned in the room, somewhere near the front or rear of the room. You get some 2 rear surround sound speakers at the back. That's your sound sorted. Your TV's on the wall at the right viewing height and at the right angle for where you're sitting. You've then got to control the space. So we install a Harmony remote control. We fully set it up with all the devices that you currently have. So if you've got Apple TVs, Fire Sticks, Xboxes, DVD players, set-top boxes, whatever you've got in that cabinet and that you have connected to your TV, we make sure the remote control talks nicely to it. Once that's set up, we give it the thorough testing that it deserves. Then we associate these new devices with your voice assistant account from either Amazon or Google, depending on your choice of assistant. And we can supply a voice assistant if you need to. And I'm running through all these products, and I'm still, in the back of my head, I'm hoping you're remembering, this is a half-day service. So what have we done? We've wall mounted the TV. We've dealt with all the cables and made them all tidy. We've introduced a sound bar, rear surround sound speakers, a subwoofer. We've got an all-in-one remote control. We've got voice control of the space. If you want to add a bolt-on, we can change out the dumb light bulbs in the room to smart light bulbs from Philips Hue. That works nicely with the remote control as well. That works nicely with your voice assistant. In half a day, professionally installed, set up like that, is coming in at around about the £3,000 mark. You can go crazy with some more bolt-ons, but if you set a limit, £3,000, professionally installed, media room setup, the cool remote control, awesome sound system, the TV safely on the wall with all the wires hidden. The media room is accessible for anyone, any budget. It really isn't the days of old where you'd spend tens of thousands of pounds to get that surround sound system professionally installed. So look for your nearest Home Tech Pro. Ask for things like half-day home cinema. Ask for things like wireless surround sound systems, and make that home a space for all your family to enjoy.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up on today's Gamble Ramble. Let's close it out, Mike, because a lot of people don't have an idea on what the budget is and possibly the time frame that it can take to get it accomplished. And every Home Tech Pro is a little bit different in their pricing and their solutions, but at least having an idea of what to anticipate and what can be accomplished is creating awareness. Because a lot of people just don't know where to even start their budget, and that's one of the biggest challenges for Home Tech Pros in our industry communicating with homeowners is, where do we start?
Yeah, and I would highly encourage anyone listening or watching to drop us a message, ask us the questions that maybe you're not getting the answer from other people. We'll tell you how much things cost. We'll tell you if something you've had a price for is excessive or too cheap or whatever you want us to look at. Please discuss and share with us your home technology projects. We'd really like to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know people around the world, so if you got a job that needs some assistance, let us know. I mean, India, South Africa. I mean, we know people everywhere. It's amazing.
True.
Gamble. Next week, we got the bedroom.
That's right. Cue the music.
We're talking about the bedroom.
White.
Barry White, please. Barry White, fire him up. We're talking sleep tech, wellness, baby monitoring, all kinds of aromatherapy. I hope we get into that. Man, I'm all about aromatherapy. I love good smelling spaces, I tell you. It might be like a guilty pleasure. But yeah, man, next week we're going to be talking about the bedroom and dropping what we're seeing and hearing from, the people the people that we're talking to on a daily basis, our clients.
That's right.
Gamble.
It's been great to see you again.
It's great to see you too, man. And you be safe in your travels. I know it's getting late over there. Beautiful background. I love that background wherever you're at. Out in the forest somewhere. Probably the best signal you've ever had from your vehicle.
I know. I'd like to say I would come here every week, but it's miles away from where I normally work. So it's a one-off.
You get home safe. Tell the family I said hello, and keep making those clients happy.
Cool. Take care, JJ.
All right, take care. Every month, the Digital Ramble will receive a regular source of income from supporters who've pledged through Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, having your ongoing support means we spend less time thinking about business and more time creating quality content for you.
Customized, based in Norfolk, England, are proud sponsors of the Digital Ramble. Check out our all setup services. It's smart home installation with ease. Customize.uk.com.
If you're looking to make your basic home smart, check out digitaldelight.com/shop, where they have a variety of different smart home technology solutions that help make smart home shopping easy for you. Check out digitaldelight.com/shop.